Hello, welcome Muddy River Cribs to our crib. We moved here in 2014. We bought it in 2012. And the first thing we did was clean up the yard so you could walk through the yard. Then we built the barn in the back so that we had a place to put things while we were working on the house, and started in the back part of the house so that we could live in the back while we worked on the rest. This room, we were told, was the women's parlor, and the men gathered in the other side. And most of this front part of the house, we didn't do much except some patching and painting. Although we did add that light, which meant we had to dig down, channel down through a brick wall, because the interior walls are brick too. To add that, we brought those with us from our previous home. And from here, we'll go back to the dining room. This is one of the big stories about the house is this chandelier. Mrs. Monckton saw it at Jacquard's jewelry store in St. Louis, and Mr. Monckton bought it for her. And they had to put a steel beam in the ceiling to hold it up because it's very heavy. It is one of 3 that were commissioned by Queen Victoria from the Murano Glass Company in Italy. She chose one and they sold the other 2. This one was bought by a duke who never hung it, but it turned up. It was supposedly at the World's Fair in St. Louis in 1904, and then in Jacquard's jewelry store where Monckton saw it and bought it. The first owner was Charles Savage. He was a lawyer, a land agent. For a short time, he had a bank that failed when their big customer could not repay his debts. He sold it to a Colonel Barry, who was one of 7 people who were tasked with choosing where the Illinois Veterans Home would be put, the Soldiers and Sailors Home. And after him, then Mr. Cassidy, John Cassidy, bought the house, and he added to it. He added the terraces. We think that he probably added this area here because this looks like an outside wall when you look at it from here. It has the same design and stuff as the outside. So we think he added this part too. And then there's a place out here where you can step off a stone into your carriage. The things that we have done, yes, and this fireplace is French marble. The other, there are 8 of them, front to back, upstairs and down. The others are all a white marble, but this one is different. This one is a French marble.
Are they all working fireplaces?
We don't try any of them. We're scared of them.
Some really interesting wood floor.
Yes. We didn't know that that was striped like that until we got it cleaned up. It had really dirty white carpet on this floor and the upstairs and up the stairway. The first thing we did was tear that carpet out. When we did, we were hoping we'd find nice floors upstairs, but we didn't. But this floor they'd had painted over it and just let the paint splatter on it. It was so dirty and messy. So we had this floor and the dining room and this room and the back part of the front hallway, we had those refinished. And when they refinished them, we found that this was walnut and oak. And this is the other parlor. This is the one room downstairs we haven't touched yet. We haven't done anything in here yet. We have replaced all of the windows, and we took out the steam radiators, hot water radiators, and changed the heating and cooling around, but we haven't done anything with the walls or anything in here yet. And from here you can go into the sunroom.
Is this original furniture?
No, this is all stuff that we either inherited. A few things we inherited. A lot of it came from a neighbor lady of ours who didn't have any family and left it all to us, and she was really into antiques. And then some of it came from sales. And this is the sunroom, which we've had the windows completely replaced in here because they were a mess. And the outside is what we've been working on more the last couple of years. We got the fish pond sealed up so it didn't leak anymore, and we've got goldfish in it now, and we put a fountain in it. And my husband's in the middle of putting brick under that arbor. There were some fake stones under there, but they were too low and the mud was washing in all the time. We built a pavilion back where they used to have a pavilion. And then we built a gazebo on in the back.
A lot of elephants.
Yes, my husband collects elephants, and because he does, people know when they don't know what to give him for Christmas, they give him an elephant. So he's got a lot of elephants. This area was when we bought the place, was a big sunroom. Originally there was an outdoor porch and a big wide stairway down to the basement where the couch is. But we took the roof off and made it so it looked like it was part of the house instead of just a shed roof, and then partitioned it off and added to the back so that we've got our family room, and then we have a master bedroom and master bath and big closet back behind it. So we're just in this area unless we've got company. And then you go straight out to the garage. The garage, there was an attached garage, but it was too small for a modern car and it was falling apart. So we tore it off and we added the 2-car garage and squared it off with the sunroom to have room for those things.
Since this is designated historic, have you had any troubles with that?
It's not really designated that anymore because along the way, different changes have been done to it. Like originally it was a metal roof and it's shingles now. There was a cupola on top that burned off in one of the fires, and just different things have been done to it, so we didn't really have to worry about that part of it. We've tried to honor that, but at the same time, keep it modern enough to be convenient for a person in this day and age. This area was 2 kitchens. This wall went all the way across, and they were back to back. And these windows were long windows like the other part of the house. That door did not exist, and that part of the porch did not exist. We made that curved porch and put the door in, shortened the windows so we could put the cabinets in. We had to match up the floors. They were a little different height, and the ceiling was a little different height, so we had lots of matching up to do.
Okay, it's not a cribs episode unless we can see inside your refrigerator.
Okay. There's not much in there at the moment. We don't go much on leftovers. So.
Got your mustard and your ketchup, that's all that
Yep.
matters.
Yeah, it's in there.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
This is the master bedroom. And I won't show you the bath, but I'll just open the door, you can kind of see.
Was this always a master bedroom?
No, the sunroom that we took out or repurposed came to about here. So from here back is what we added on when we added the garage. We have a nice big shower. Our grandson calls the car wash. A big closet, which I really love. This is the back stairway. We replaced this. When we bought the house, it was just 2x8s, and they had glued carpet to them. So we couldn't do anything with that to take the carpet off. The glue and everything remained. So we just took it out, and our friend, who's a really good carpenter, built us a new set of stairs. They're kind of steep. This part of the house was more like a servant's quarters or something, I would say. It's a step or 2 lower than the rest of the house. There's this bedroom. We took out a closet that went just along here, and it made the bedroom big enough to be more usable. And then there's a big closet over there that was part of the bathroom when we first bought the house. This is the bathroom that we made then. We shortened it up and put the closet back there. Took out a doorway out here in the hallway that was to a half bath right there, and opened this up to that so we could keep the toilet in the same spot. Made this into a better bathroom. And then from here, there was a closet right here that was plumbed for a washer and dryer, and then a little bitty closet here, and then a half bath off of the room over there with the closet between. We switched those around, which I'll show you, and then took the 3 closets and made a second bathroom up here.
Nice.
This has the front on the fireplace that a lot of them had. They used to burn coke. It's kind of like coal, but they call it coke. We don't have all the fronts, but we have that one and a couple of others. And this room is the one that had these had the murals in them. The ones in that room, we've seen pictures of. It was a hunting scene. Smoke and the guns and the birds flying, it went all around the room. This room, over the fireplace, there was a big eagle or bird of some kind carrying somebody off in his talons. There was a scene of knights in war on this wall, and a knight with a lady handing him her scarf on that wall. And then on this wall, on either side of the windows, there was a goddess and her maid bathing. So there were nudes there. And the murals needed touching up. They were in bad shape. And we didn't like explaining that one to our young grandkids. So we had nice pictures of them, we just painted over them.
From a previous program I worked on, I understood this was the mayor's room.
Yes, that's what we were told. This was where the mayor and other dignitaries were entertained. And we've been told there were lots of types of entertainment in this house. There's a doorbell, or was a doorbell, in every bedroom upstairs, and they were connected to a panel that was in the kitchen for various reasons, I guess. And that closet in that room had a little bitty sink in the closet. There are lots of stories about it being haunted. We haven't had any experience with that ourselves. Our son thinks he did one time, and speaking to some previous owners, the Wagners, the girls thought they saw some stuff, the boys said it never bothered them. One of the previous owners swears they will never come back in the house, but we haven't had anything. There's also rumors of it being on the Underground Railroad, but it was built in 1865, which is a little late for the Underground Railroad. We haven't found any tunnels. There is one spot in the basement where we don't know what it might have been originally, and there was a sinking place in the concrete pad behind the house, about 20 feet across, and it just kept going down and going down. The cement was breaking. We dug that up a few years ago. All it was an old cistern. It was not part of a tunnel. We covered it over and we put a pickleball court on it. And you really had to be a part of the in crowd to be invited to a party here, but he had lots of parties. Sandblasted and sealed. Then we added the drywall. We left that door where it was. We took that door and flipped it over to here, to the back part of the basement. And then this is just, we had the bowling alley in Camp Point. That back bar came from it, and the stools came from it. We just have a lot of stuff down, and the theater seats in there came out of that bowling alley, and the shuffleboard. But we had to repair it, it was in pieces. But we've added all this stuff and have a lot of antique stuff down here. And the kids love to come down here and play.
Hey, look, Randy, they have a bar.
Yeah, this is the angle I'm used to seeing you at here.
This side of the basement, we walled off for 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, and then there's a furnace back in here. And then this was a walk-in cooler with a walk-in freezer behind it, which was here, which we still have in here. They don't work, but we didn't move them. And there is the safe. For as big as it is, it's very small inside. It's a Broadway bank on it. We had to move it to put this floor in and then move it back, and we had to move it from over there where it was originally. It took 4 guys and some car jacks to move it. They think it weighs about 4 tons. When we got it back in here, they said, okay, that's it. It's never moving again. They say, well, how did you ever get it down here? I think because we had that wide stairway, they must have used horses, teams of horses, to get it down here. Hey, it was great having you here for this, but it's time for you to go. I need to go outside and do some stuff outside.